Hey there, guys. Bills are paid off, didn't go down to zero, and in the next hour and a half, I will have my paycheck in. So now's the start of the time of the fortune of Colin Dawson. Probably will be getting back in, got the microphone set back up here. Probably need to have it in a little bit better place and talk directly into it or something. And it's all going to be good. And didn't lose all the hair doing it. Actually, looks like it comes back now and then a little. But anyway, craziness and everything everywhere. Got my prep set up. Went out and checked the price of guns. Granted, I've added $160 on, and they probably raised the background check at least $15 for each one. And that's just been in the last, I think, since President's Day or a little bit after on my birthday to now that they're $60 to $100 more. But if you're wanting to get the 380 Nano, the 380, which I will say looks like the best gun to carry because honestly, all of them, if you're carrying concealed, just seem too heavy for a guy that's a little bitty guy that's under police height like me. And while I still can hold a 45, Rob, you know who you are. Stop hacking the house because you're not really Air Force and your Dolly Parton's private security and other stuff that's supposedly Air Force equivalency. But still don't know why in the hell you were assigned to me since you started screaming that I was your son. And, Dusty Sills, who committed suicide, you did the same thing with him with your 3 or 4 wives. Now, with everything all sane, please fuck off. And I know you had to make up another crime. You made up the thing about me stealing gas, even put up a picture. And there's absolutely nothing else out there other than you saying that you would delete the photographs and everything. And make sure that I was completely non-exonerated. Was exonerated by 3 police officer groups, but due to the fact one of my in-laws has like 7 or 8 kids in like just an area that's small little towns, it was all inadmissible or anything else, and still walked away with 3 checks for corporate office of the gas place that I found out my mom paid later. And it's like, no, let it go to the police and go through everything. I'll take a year suspension on my driver's license. That proves blackmail with you for 25 years. And since it's with federal stuff and you made it go to the military, that means lifetime for you. Minimum 50. Years-long investigation. So there's to you, to Lou. We all have to use Weigel's gas because it's the only thing we can afford. But, Shell's making a comeback, even though they say whenever Shell and Casey's gas shows up, we're all going to get nuke bombed. And now Russia's doing the bullshit that it is. So I just say it's one of the nuke bombs that the Nazis left here that they made in the 50s. Because they had to steal it first and tried to make it in the middle of nowhere, Central Plains, and then showed up later, and, that's it. And then the Russians got it 2 or 3 years later, because they were the ones that found them, and we were cooperating there about hunting Nazis in the USA and the American werewolves. Not to be confused with real American werewolves. They're nice, sweet, cuddly little things, and when they're in the military, they hurt people. But whatever. They just think they shoot something and that it's going to make them like all powerful and turn them into like a morphine animal. But got to go with whatever it is that gives you a leg up on them psychology wise. Moving on, going to be getting the guns. Going to be getting everything together. The preps are done. I think I've gotten the parents to not want to feed me all the time and don't have to have food for me all the time. And it's like, am I dying? No, you're stressed. You don't need to feed anybody. Just need to go to the gym. Going to be doing that here because we don't have the credit cards and everything else, so no more overtime need or anything. Everything's going to be run on strict whatever it is. And probably in a year or whenever this bubble's supposed to burst, I might get in. They look like they're trying to cut the trees, strategic cutting of the economy here and let it go down, and it's like it'll build back up, and these trees, and you come over here and cut them, and it'll build back up and make a good base. But I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it. It's a big management thing. Oh, here's another thing. I'm supposed to be so wrapped up in this justice thing. So wrapped up, because Colin, it's like, you are the complete justice man. You are the one who has scavenger hunted every last part since the time that you were like 2 or 4 years old and saw a shooting or something else like that down by the waterfront. Everything over the real don't tread on me. And it's like, it's not really bearing arms and stuff. It's like, yeah, it is. It's like, whatever. And you go through all this stuff and everything. I'm so wrapped up in this justice thing. It's like this. There's a guy that I know that's David, that's out West Knoxville, and he's like, this is how he got to move to West Knoxville, because his family he's still 100% Nazi. And he's lied in his way in, got sent back twice, turned some things over, and ratted out his dad, and they don't know about it, or granddad almost, because he's so old and everything. And to get back into the military, get out of military prison. And he finally got back in doing a bar brawl, trying to shut down the thing, and been like, well, I'm a recruiting agent now for the military. And I just got to look at him and be like, this is him over it, because he's in West Knoxville, therefore he's progressive. And he can get a job that's $3 or $4 an hour more than everybody else. But she's black. Did you hear, Colin? But she's black. I still remember when you stole my identity from over at the Jason's Deli and used it and got like higher up cred for the military with your people, and it was said okay, and used my name on the insurance and everything else, and came back as insurance fraud and everything else. And they suspended your military benefits for a year. Most people lose them for life, man. Oh my God. It's like, I lost my military benefits for 6 weeks. I had to be put on psychic talk down. You just walk by them and it's like, you suck, because that's not really how you do your benefits. How does anything do with this? They're just throwing things around and beating furniture up and stuff, and it sounds like, and I'm going, and it's just a loop that plays over at them. And I'm going, whatever it is in military justice, I don't think that's part of it, but whatever. It's like private security supposedly counts the same as military. So then why didn't they charge all the Nazis that live around here? Anyway, moving on from it with his people in the judicial system that are Nazis that aren't supposed to be here and everything else. Oh, but she's black. Oh, but she's black. Oh, but she's black. Did you know these people in North Knoxville said, oh, but she's black? Oh, did you know these people over on the east side that said, oh, but she's black? Wait, you mean they got rid of all the rental people? And it's all back to black? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, did you know the Brookhammers, you mean the Brookhammers actually have black people in their family, and, it wasn't everything about racial rape of slaves or something? Did you know she's black? There's no South Side. I've never been on South Side or anything else. I forgot they were black down there, and black. And I swear, he hacked my car and has been doing that. And it's like, you don't care about that justice because she's black. Who is it, Cougar? Because I was pulling for Cougar, like out in California and stuff. Because I'm like, she will be a unifier of the entire thing. And it's like, I had like a conversation the other day, and he's like, Cougar. Well, she's a British white supremacist. She's a British white supremacist and everything. And I cannot stand these freaking fucking hackers in my stuff all the time. Thank you, editors of YouTube. I'm sorry, but she's black. And then it's like the other day I turned it on or pulled something up on my phone, and it's in my car so it can hack it and whatever it is. And I'm looking at it, and she's in red. And it's like, you mean she's a Native American? And she looks very red-black when she had the red on and everything. And I was just like, and since then, just like, did you know they got a Native American? And you was effing with Colin. He told you they have black Native Americans and everything. And it's like, yeah, there's one tribal group or two of them that used to be around here. Kentucky and like the Tennessee tribe. They're really like dark like that. And it's like, I wonder if that's one of Colin's family members he's going to have. And then it's like, you hear all this stuff talking out there, and they're all like, were you really doing that? And I'm going, they have an entire team. What did I do again on YouTube or something that they didn't strike me for and said it had to count as something? And I'm just going, and today it was like they just dropped it totally and just left it over to whatever it was with Patrick and Lynx and all of them go, trying to like, and they can actually do that, and I guess they pack their and I've seen them do this, and it's like they are not sitting over there wherever it is they work at and have their cheeks packed with cotton or something and go, you need to listen to me and talk to me, because this is how you get call, and then you can go out there and you can control them with everything, because it's not technology, it's my natural powers. And I am the awakening cobra. I am the rattlesnake tribe. They all were with Cobra. You had to do that. You had to kill all the... It's like, what did you do? You went back on the DNA long enough and found somebody, and you've been doing this ever since Hostiles came out, where they had rattlesnake Apaches in it. And that one guy whoever it is, that I'll find out one day, who can't ride with me or anything else or have me in the military, because he sees me exactly as that rattlesnake that killed the kids, and it's like, thanks. I never knew I was that brutal and everything. I guess I can just do all the hard, wet work stuff that you can't do. And then he goes on about how I'm the guy in Geronimo and everything. And he's just going on and on about it. And it's like, you're that top hat motherfucker out there, and I could never see you ruin that. It's not new to keep you here home all the time, Colin. So you're going to pull that gun right out there and be like, whatever the fuck. I mean, can't we just get like, no offense, it's like, David, I'm really hating sorry this. Here's $5. Please just sit there and say black people are very scary and horrible and everything else to them, and be like, that's who you're supposed to be scared of in a dark alley. It's the USA. It's no longer World War II and your genocide things. I'd just say, at least I go to certain other places and everybody found out that I had that, Oriental like line there, and they only remember black, Native Americans from like the Apache area from one old Western, and then they're all obsessed with their slaves and everything, and that there wasn't anything like albinoism or the dreaded it has grow in it and is black and Spanish that we're not allowed to say anymore, because it's a natural thing that happens with people that have different things, because everybody has melanistic capabilities and everything and what they look like. And I'm just going, but I did get on Filipino Cupid, spend about $45, ended up losing about $200 on it to people going, well, helps out some places going to say we're evil colonials or whatever it is. And, there's like 3 ethnic groups that are extinct from the Holocaust over there. There were, after the World War II, that, were like, it happened. I can understand why they no longer want to be a colony or something attached with the USA and say it was pathetic. But moving right along from there with everything, I just look at whatever it is with this and just go, really? Our government's paying these people about probably $500,000 a year in payroll to an area going, it's economically depressed. And I'm like, no, you're just paying them to have kids, have sex with their own kids, and keep breeding up a colonial situation of Romans here. And it's like, Roman people have the right to immigrate. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for immigration, not war criminals that, broke out of a prison and they go, they were too wily for us to get, and they shot so many Secret Service in the 80s, we had a shortage, like in that thing when the judge and the senator got shot out in Arizona. We didn't publicize the shortage of Secret Service whenever the NORAD things had gone down. It's like, it just started with NORAD situation in Colorado. It ain't even gone back there yet. I'm like, and all this with patterning and everything else and saying social patternizations of everything and what all happens, I just look at it and I'm going, yeah, I understand. You found this. Yes, I'm not pure. I don't get a check. I'm not like the other ones or whoever it is you're going to be complaining about. But this is just how the world works. Yes. You met that Rosie. Yeah. Yeah, we're related. Yeah. Yeah, it's like looking at her in a red dress. Yeah. 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 I already been met with the naval recon over it. Don't need anything else more. Can't mention anything about being related to somebody that's possibly, it's like the Aleutian Islands, just go continually over there and almost hit Japan. Something else that was in mainland China. I mean mainland China or something. Yes. Yeah. No. Anthropologically, you said something about that Cherokee or their linguistical system was similar to ancient Carthaginian. Yeah, the lost horse people of Central Africa. Yeah, you want to study the creeks more. I don't know where Creek is. I don't know anything. I think there's Beaver Creek down the road. I don't know. You all have subpoenas, resources. You can tell us where they're all at. We know they're all hiding out here in the bushes and everything. The fuck you talking about, bitch? Just because there ain't a reservation in this single little malt liquor store town or state? Shut up. You just forgot about it for 3 weeks and it turned into hard malt liquor. And you go, well, don't it make it bourbon with the, they were George Washington's ancestors and he was supposedly a Native American slave and wasn't really a white fucker? That's what this country was founded on. Holy shit, me God. Well, do not try to lynch me just because you're black and I'm over here in the colored section of whatever the fucking hell it is, since we all know we still do it. And don't worry, he was Jewish also. It's why he got to take over and didn't have to join a political party. Like the bourbon kings and things at the Third Estate that became Hitler's like segregationist people went over there and killed in France. Yeah, so the King of Spain drinks bourbon. I don't know anything. I'm not on an invite list. I'm sure there's some imposter or imposer or whatever it is. So you mean we can pretend to be you? Haven't you always? No, I got kids now and they're over 18 and they need a job. It's not like I give permission for anything. I, family court judicial system, come to ye and say, he is my herd, for Rome has given us slavery still and is still pro-slavery. For its cults are slavery and all forms are slavery and is the cornerstone to the Roman people. And it's like, well, the only thing you can argue with the Pope over with it, apparently secularly over his slavery situations. And he's from Portugal. It started up most of the slave trade in Africa. Anyway, there's race baiting and weaponized racism. I'm sure will be a constitutional amendment here soon. And, oh wait, why am I not obsessed with that? Oh, even the Supreme Court is told whatever to think by the judge that's had 6 or 7 different names, and I've watched shoot children around there. Don't worry, he'll drag the body over closer before 6 feet. Anything else about it? Well, I'm not really that obsessed about, the judicial thing. I think I'll get on the political minute and try to act like normal about stuff. And, notice the eyes, they're not as round as yours. I'm not sleepy or anything else. And yes, the head is way bigger. Yeah, and they can just give you mercury right here, make a magnetic thing, and then hit you with that, and it'll give you small face, and it'll shrink your face in, and you'll never be able to do proper whatever it is. It's an old thing from like Roman medieval 0 AD stuff. As well as all of them running around up north, and they want to play it back through because they hack on David shit going, what are they doing? It's like they're drinking mercury water in like Luscatavia bottles, and it may be carbonated, and saying it's American Roman champagne, and they're just going around there saying, what's wrong with being mercury poisoned? You hear the voice of God and it makes you what you're supposed to be. And there's a whole group of people in the Swiss Guard going mac waving and shooting you with a thing that's about the same thing as the cell phone electricity to try and suggestively make things for you. And it's like wherever this new riot thing is, they've moved over to Michigan and stuff, and they're looking for my little red-headed aunt or something else. And all this other stuff, and they're wanting to kill her off and other people, and these things around the whole nation about Godfather laws, and how any Jew that's not found breeding with the entire population has no rights of anything here. And technically, I just look at it as like Israel is, because Jewish means privileged slave in Vatican, in Roman. And, the Jewish people does not mean that, even though Rome swears they've owned them as slaves on their reservation in Poland and throughout the history of Christendom, which Christianity is made to get rid of the Jews. There's not an argument over that. There's just stupid people who want to see if they can lie. And how can we say the next lie that you'll accept with these versions of plucked facts? And then we can all go on with other stuff and everything else. But, I'm going to hell in a handbasket anyway. Oh, God, it's so good to be out of debt. Credit cards don't have to zap you with that little chip in them and everything else. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't paid off your debt. And then it's like everybody else is like, how else do we make money? It makes more of the system. It's interest. It's like, no, it doesn't. That's why there's inflation. And you can't have more population and be like, well, if there's more population, there's no inflation. It just makes more inflation. You don't have a real economy, you don't produce anything. Anyway, moving back to idiots with stuff. I can't really even think of it, whatever it is. Probably something that's not even needed, or else they'll say I held my head too close to the wonderful little microphone here. This works better. Yeah, there. Anyway, looking at how it all goes with everything else and all of it here, I really do just think that, what do I think here? I lost my train of thought. That's why everybody has a commercial break every 20 to 18 minutes. And they go, what did I talk about last? 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 Gone are the days of the old people who actually had memory, because if we were able to remember anything, oh yeah, what was it? Riots are supposedly happening in Michigan in the area, and they're moving across there, and some people have been hacking in looking for my little red-headed aunt, and it's like she probably let them go over there and get rid of her because she says her life is miserable. She just waits in her house every day for someone to go by, and her only remaining daughter, if she is alive, according to everybody at Walmart, said they went to Mexico and killed the other one for working in a car plant and everything else, and they were able to replace him, and no one ever really cared. I mean, after all, it's just a Philistine cult with the Pope Piuses, and all of them continuing everything ongoing. As long as we are not in uniform, we are good. Oh yeah, why do I not care about the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court can't even look at family court, and how Rome Vatican City uses it in a weaponized situation to make slave herds for food sustenance for their Holy Communion out there underneath the Holy Roman Empire, which still is housed until Putin or a Eastern Orthodox group can go all the way over to Rome, and they have to christen them, or else they get the Pope to come to them. And then he will coronate them with his own crown. And then that is that. The Second Reich Holy Roman Empire advocated and failed and tried to take over Mexico 3 or 4 times. Also, I do believe is wholly and solely responsible for one act in the Revolutionary War, as well as completely responsible for the Civil War and the Confederacy. And it's like I have to sit around with half of them right now, and they all keep going, well, we're here to press you into service. I can press you into service anytime I want to. And they act like it's something with will or something else like that. And it's like, no. But today I did admit that everything was a Manchurian Candidate, and has to all be given over to Japan for whatever it is, for their future conquest underneath everything. We'll try to be nicer on this, and I'm going to try and do all my stuff to the Library of Congress now on this situation here. However the thing is set up in the computer. And I've already been told that they'll try and take everything from my computer and everything else, and will try to overtake everything out of it that's copyrightable and use it for their own selves. In a way, I really don't care. But, it's the way life is going. We've got a wag the dog war in front of us, and that's about it. Anyway, here's my daily log for whatever it is, and I'll forget the star date. And hopefully you'll have a wonderful day. Colin Dawson over and out.